Now at 5, 9 firefighters need medical treatment after a toxic blaze. Plus, the Joplin History and Mineral Museum welcomes visitors back after extensive renovations.
The Trump administration faces multiple lawsuits for withholding billions from an interstate rail tunnel project. I'm Erica Brown with reaction from lawmakers on the impact of the freeze.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
9 firefighters are hospitalized after battling a hazardous materials fire at a Jasper County mineral extraction facility. This is KOAM News. I'm Tanya Bach. The blaze erupted before noon at U.S. Assets Recovery and Black Cat Trucking on North Black Cat Road, forcing all employees to evacuate safely. Heavy black smoke billowed from the building as 7 fire departments rushed to the scene. Crews from Carl Junction, Galena, Joplin, Oronogo, Carterville, Quapaw, and Dunawig worked together to knock down the flames by 12:30 p.m. Injured firefighters underwent decontamination on scene before paramedics transported them to area hospitals for treatment. The fire destroyed the building's roof and caused extensive structural damage. The Missouri State Fire Marshal is on scene to help investigators determine what sparked the blaze. Joplin History and Mineral Museum welcomes visitors back after a major renovation and unveils a redesigned Route 66 exhibit. The curator says the project was months in the making, with an intense 30-day push to bring it to completion. The renovations come as the museum approaches its 95th anniversary, modernizing exhibits while preserving the stories that make the museum a community landmark.
We started on the basic ideas probably about June or July. And we really didn't know if we were going to be allowed to close until just right before Christmas, actually. So it was on a back burner, and then once we got the go-ahead, then it was very much, oh, we got to hurry up and get this project started. The
updates include new graphics, improved layout and flow, and interactive displays designed to tell the full story of Route 66, with a special focus on Joplin's role in that history. Taken too soon, but never forgotten. Those are the words on dog tags John Martin is hanging along highways across the United States. His goal is to ensure those who lost their lives on 9/11 are never forgotten. Each tag he hangs has the name of a victim. Today he traveled to Cherokee and Crawford counties in southeast Kansas.
Who's this guy on a bike? What's he doing? What's he doing to my road sign out there? And when they ask it, I tell them, they're like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. Tell me more. And so it's been wonderful. So hopefully I've planted those seeds with some of those folks. But the fire departments have all been extremely well received, which I'm not surprised.
Martin is also stopping by local fire departments along the way, presenting each with a 343 FDNY dog tag representing the 343 FDNY firefighters who made the ultimate sacrifice on September 11th, 2001. Well, meteorologist Donald O'Keefe joins us now with a first look at weather.
Temperatures are feeling a lot better than how they were over the last couple of weeks. We got a nice sunset behind me. Take a look at our current conditions. 57 degrees out there, clear skies, winds out of the north, 14 miles an hour. Definitely a lot better temperature. Let's take a look at our high for today. We got to 61 degrees. That is 13 degrees above our average temperature this time of year. This evening, it's going to get on the cool side though. There is a cold front that's going to be pushing through. We're going to drop down to 30 degrees. It is going to be mostly clear though. Winds are going to be about tied to 10 miles an hour. Taking a look through the next couple of days, we're going to see clear skies for tonight. By the time we get into Saturday morning, increasing cloud cover. There's those temperatures right around that 30 mark. But as we get into Saturday afternoon, temperatures are going to rebound back to about the mid 50s. We're going to be even warmer by Monday, and I'll have those details coming up.
All right, thanks, Donald. Funding has run out for a $16 billion rail tunnel project between New York and New Jersey. The Trump administration froze the money back in October, and it's become a political debate with practical consequences for more than 1,000 workers relying on the job site and the replacement of critical aging infrastructure. CBS's Erica Brown reports from Capitol Hill.
Construction workers left a Hudson River Tunnel job site Thursday, not knowing when or if they'll be back.
We are the pawns, and it's not fair.
President Trump has refused to release funding for the $16 billion Gateway project set to build new commuter rail tunnels between New York and New Jersey, as well as upgrade old Amtrak tunnels connecting Washington, D.C. to Boston.
By holding this project hostage is elevating project costs, putting over 1,000 people out of work immediately, threatening over 90,000 future jobs, and undermining the daily commute of hundreds of thousands of Americans.
The U.S. Department of Transportation issued an interim final rule back in October, freezing funding while the construction project underwent an administrative review for what the White House budget director called unconstitutional DEI principles. Friday, New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill said the president may now have other motives for the freeze.
I've heard it's because he wants Dulles Airport named after him. I've heard it's because he wants Penn Station named after him.
The commission overseeing the project has sued the Trump administration, and the states of New York and New Jersey jointly filed a similar suit, citing congressionally appropriated funding they believe can't be undone by the president. Last month, a White House spokesperson said it's Chuck Schumer and Democrats who are standing in the way of a deal for the Gateway Tunnel project by refusing to negotiate with the Trump administration. Governor Sherrill says the states are in court Friday asking for a temporary restraining order to get the spigots turned back on for 12 days, while a judge can hear the merits of the case.
In December, President Trump said the administration has a design plan to overhaul Dulles Airport. Still ahead, do you find yourself scrolling all day, but your battery can't keep up? We check out new research showing which phones actually go the distance. And next in Health Watch, Joplin's Freeman Heart Institute joins the Go Red for Women movement. Topping today's Health Watch, Joplin's Freeman Heart Institute is helping spread awareness of cardiovascular disease in women by wearing red today. Go Red for Women is the American Heart Association's global movement to end heart disease and stroke in women. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women, as symptoms are atypical for women and often overlooked.
Today being the Go Red Day, which is a day to bring awareness to women's health, is very important to have the public be aware of these facilities and services that we have available to them, and also encourage the conversation centered around heart health, especially in women.
Dr. Kim mentions checking your cholesterol levels, eating a heart-healthy diet, and including physical activity 30 minutes a day for 5 days a week, all ways to help lower the risk. Cardiovascular disease remains the #1 killer of women in the United States. Mary Nichols has one heart attack survivor's story and what she wants others to know about the warning signs.
It's been 4 years since Beth Opal suffered a massive heart attack. She experienced symptoms on the way home from a trip with her sister.
Really uneasy and uncomfortable. There was a little pressure on my neck. I had some achiness in my arms and definitely my back.
Knowing her family history, her mom had a heart attack at age 50, Beth headed for the ER. The type of heart attack she experienced is called a widowmaker because it's often fatal.
The entire left side was blocked, so I'm very fortunate that I got there in time.
Beth is in this year's American Heart Association Go Red for Women class of survivors, raising awareness.
Most women will show up with the classic chest pain, chest pressure. However, some women can show up with nausea, sweaty feeling, chest burning, back pain, left arm pain, just not feeling right as a manifestation of their heart attack.
Northwell Health cardiologist Dr. Jennifer Merez says heart disease is preventable, so know the risk factors. They include high blood pressure, diabetes, elevated cholesterol, obesity, lack of sleep, and cardiovascular conditions during pregnancy.
Choose to move every day. Have a colorful plate. We now know that if you get less than 7 hours of sleep, that can have an amplifying effect on your risk for heart disease.
Beth is following that advice.
I definitely try to minimize stress. I try to do things that are calming, like playing the piano and taking walks. I try to eat healthy. I'm just lucky to be alive, and I'm just here to tell everybody about listening to the signs and knowing your history.
It could save your life. Mary Nichols, CBS News, Salt Lake City.
Research shows less than 50% of women recognize that they are at risk for heart disease. For dementia patients, having access to support and medical advice from experts may help even more than Alzheimer's medications. A UC San Francisco study found when caregivers for dementia patients worked with experts to connect them with community resources. The patient's quality of life improved and the burden on caregivers was reduced. The study's authors say a combination of help from experts and medication may be the best approach. Well, people diagnosed with cancer in the midst of the COVID pandemic had a lower survival rate than other cancer patients. A study published in JAMA found during 2020 and 2021, there was a significant reduction in cancer survival rates in the first year after being diagnosed. Interruptions to cancer screening, diagnosis, and treatment are the biggest factors. A new study suggests babies are born with a natural sense of rhythm. Researchers in Italy played Bach piano songs for sleeping newborns while measuring their brain waves. The baby's brain waves showed signs of surprise when the rhythm of the songs unexpectedly changed. Previous research has shown even in the womb, babies can respond to music. That's a look at today's health news. A little later, your phone battery dying by noon. We find out which phones actually last all day.
And we're looking at a pretty mild weekend, and we're even going to see warmer temperatures by Monday. Those details coming up.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Turned out to be a pretty nice day today, and that nice trend continues for the next couple of days as well. Take a look at our Skywatch storm tracker. We are having a bit of a weak cold front that is going to be pushing through tonight that will drop temperatures down. That high pressure behind it will keep things dry and then continue decent weather as we go over the next couple of days. Take a look at the temperatures across the region. Everywhere is seeing anywhere from the upper 50s to the low 60s. We got 60 there in Miami, 58 in Iola. You guys are a little cooler out there in Yates Center, about 55 degrees, but you guys are still hovering around the mid 60s down there in Jay. So definitely a pretty nice night. You can see the sun is setting behind me. Current conditions right now for Joplin, 57 degrees, clear skies, winds out of the north, about 14 miles an hour. Like I said, a great evening. However, like I said, that cold front is going to be pushing in, dropping temperatures down. So we're going to stay mostly clear through the night. We are going to drop down to that low 30 mark for tonight. Taking a look at our evening, like I said, 30 degrees for our low, mostly clear skies, still on the chilly side. So like I said, just bundle up tonight, but it's not as cold as it has been over the last couple of weeks. Let me take you through the weekend. So this is tonight. There's those clear skies. As we get into Saturday morning, some clouds are going to start pushing in. There's those temperatures right around that 30 mark. As we get into Saturday afternoon, we're going to say partly cloudy. Temperatures are going to be about the mid 50s, so a pretty nice Saturday for us. As we get into Super Bowl Sunday, we're going to see more clouds kind of push in, but that morning is going to start off about the low 40s. Pushing into the afternoon, temperatures are going to rebound back to about the mid 60s for us by Sunday. So this is our weekend forecast, mild and a bit breezy. Pretty nice conditions for us. Super Bowl Sunday, I know you guys are prepping for that, getting everything ready, and this is a perfect weekend to do it if you even want to do it outside. Take a look at the Indigo Sky Casino Resort. You can see nice clear conditions right now. All right. Let me take you through time for the next week or so. Let's see what we're doing for the upper level flow. So there's a low pressure system out there by Mexico. That's going to be the fuel. We're going to possibly see maybe some rain chances coming up, but we're going to see mostly good conditions as we go over the next couple of days. So we're going to watch that as we start on Monday of next week. There it pushes off. Those rain chances will most likely stay to the south of us. We might get clipped a little bit by Wednesday morning. Now we're watching another system way out there by California by next Thursday. That's going to start slowly making its way in. That could also maybe bring in some rain chances for us next weekend, but we're going to stay pretty nice and clear, and then our next system is still off there to the west next Sunday. So let's take a closer look. This is Monday. Temperatures right around 70. That's right, February, and it's going to be 70 degrees on Monday. Getting into Tuesday, temperatures right around that 70s mark. There's a little bit of that rain I was talking about by Tuesday afternoon. That'll push out. We're going to cool down a bit by Wednesday, being back about the mid to upper 50s. Moving through the week, we're going to get to Thursday. We're going to rebound back to the upper 60s, but then there's those rain chances I was talking about that's going to be pushing in by about Friday morning. It might be a little bit of a wet Friday morning, pushing into the weekend of next weekend, by about Friday afternoon, by about mid 50s up to the upper 50s. Pushing into Saturday, that cold's going to be back into about the mid 40s, but then by next Sunday, we rebound back to the low 30s. Taking a look at our 7-day, we're going to have a nice conditions over the next couple of days. 71 on Monday. We're going to cool down a bit after some rain possibly pushes through next Tuesday. Then we rebound back into the 60s. And I got to say, we're getting some pretty nice conditions for February.
You definitely can't complain about 71 on Monday. I mean, warm in February?
I know. Well, we needed it after how cold it's been the last couple of weeks. So
it's definitely going to be a special day.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thanks, Donald. Well, coming up, that red battery bar driving you crazy. Find out which phones won't leave you stranded. Well, topping today's Consumer Watch, your cell phone may be smart, but is it strong enough to last all day? Even with the newer designs and better cameras, battery life hasn't changed much in the last few years. CBS's Evan Moon looks at a new study on the best phones for battery life and how to conserve power.
It's the modern day panic signal, that tiny red bar telling you your phone is running on fumes.
I won't be surprised if I keep this phone another year or two or a couple months if it just starts dying out of nowhere.
As Americans scroll, search, stream, talk, and text, most may find their battery barely lasts a day on a single charge.
Throughout the day, it'll get flat pretty quickly.
The battery would just completely die. Like, I couldn't even go through a full day of school without it just like dying before I got home.
The problem is not new.
Batteries technology has basically been the same for about a decade or more.
CNET recently put 35 phones to the test. Managing editor Patrick Holland says one clearly outlasted the rest.
For battery life is the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and full disclosure, it is also the most expensive phone on our list, starting at just under $1,200.
Second place went to an underdog brand,
the OnePlus 15. Now, some people may have heard of this brand.
Rounding out the top 5, their research found Motorola also had a few models worth buying. Holland says in the last year, smartphone life has improved due to the use of silicon inside batteries, but only slightly.
In 2025, brand new phones did have longer battery life than those that were made in 2024, but it was less than 1%.
What should or shouldn't you do to conserve battery?
I mean, the first thing you could always do is just have a battery, like an extra battery pack. Turn off your always-on display. That takes up some extra power. You can dim the brightness of your screen. You can also look if you can get on Wi-Fi.
Holland says companies including Apple, Google, and Samsung promise up to 7 years of phone software support. So if you start to see bad battery life before then, take it to the store. You can just replace a battery instead of the whole phone. Evan Moon, CBS News, New York.
A new CBS News poll finds 34% of Americans say the U.S. economy is good. The survey shows most people believe economic opportunities increase for the wealthy, but decrease for the middle class. And 62% say artificial intelligence will reduce available jobs in the U.S. January layoffs surged to 118% compared to last year, with major companies citing AI for job cuts. Well, some restaurant chains are hiking out big food deals this Super Bowl weekend. Today, Subway is offering 2 6-inch subs for $6. Buffalo Wild Wings and Applebee's are serving up free wings with a purchase on Sunday, while Chipotle will give 100,000 fans free entrees if they text the code the chain sends out on Instagram during Sunday's game. The FDA recalls more than 6,000 units of repackaged M&M candies because labels failed to warn of milk, soy, and peanut allergens. The candy was sold across 20 states by Beacon Promotions, a Minnesota firm that sells promotional products. The FDA classified it as a Class 2 recall for products that may cause temporary health consequences. Final check of the forecast is next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, what investigators now say is a critical detail in the abduction of Savannah Guthrie's mother. And then on KOAM News at 6, hear more on Joplin's hazardous materials fire, where 9 firemen were hospitalized with burns. Plus, heart disease kills more women than cancer. We look into prevention tips that work. And in sports, it's signing day for 2 athletes at Liberal High School as they put pen to paper for their college futures. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and KOAM News at 6. Final check of the forecast.
Yeah, we have a pretty nice weekend ahead of us. You can see we're going to get up into the low 60s by Sunday, and that's Super Bowl Sunday. And we're going to start off Monday getting into the low 70s. That's right, low 70s in February. So
that'll be nice.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice. All right, well, thank you for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next, and we'll be back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Have a great evening and an even better weekend.